Hi everybody, I'm Jack. This is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Well, I've got, let's see, today is Sunday as I'm shooting this, and I will be leaving to go to the States on Wednesday. As you've probably seen by now in another video, I had a lightning strike that took out my Wi-Fi, so just kind of having a chill weekend. I mean, I do have my phone and I have data on there, but I'm just kind of using that sparingly. And it's been good to be off the laptop a little bit. Like I said, I'd kind of gotten a crick in my neck, and yeah, just good to kind of unplug a little bit, but I'm not completely unplugged. So just doing a little reflection here before I go to the States for the holidays in a few days, and just thinking about 2016. 2016 was a good year. It was a great year. They've all been good years since I flipped the switch, because what's the saying, and I'm just kind of paraphrasing, this isn't exact: life is 10% about what happens and 90% about your perception of it. And when I flipped the switch on my perception, some 4.5 years ago, I expect the year to be good. I mean, it's kind of sad in a way. It's like, and I'm, I kind of feel bad saying this if anybody were to see this, because they might recognize themselves. But I noticed on my Facebook list, and it's already starting, and then I started thinking back that the same people said the same things last year, and they said the same thing about 2014. I see so many, thank God 2016's gone, 2017's got to be better. And it probably won't unless you change something up here. Like I say, I expect to have a good year. I go into the year expecting it to be good. So, to a large extent, it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. But to a large extent, just remember that everything is about perception in life. Some of the specific things that I learned this year, or that kind of got reinforced, and one of the big lessons was not to get stagnant in life. It was time for me to leave that house where I was living at the beach, but I knew it was time, but I had to be pushed. It wasn't until the owner, sold the house and told me, hey, okay, finally, and then I had a time frame that I had to get moving. But I had just gotten comfortable there. It wasn't really working for me. It wasn't a bad place. It served me well. It was a good little house. Just wasn't feeling the energy there anymore. Was kind of ready to move out of the town where I was living. Just everything was starting to get a little stale, and I needed that push. Well, I think in the future I'm just going to have to be a little bit more, having to push myself and knowing when it's time to make, a change like that. It's being open for everything, being open for things and being ready for things. Being open and ready and always looking for opportunities and ready for opportunities. I'm doing a little bit more downsizing on this trip to the States, because there's a good chance, I'm hoping that once I come back from the holidays around January 1st, I'm hoping I'll get another 3 months out of living on this property. But we have we have somebody I think that's going to buy the house. In fact, I think they've made an offer. All that's really left is that they are working on getting financing through the bank. And down here, that can be a bit of a process. And down here, things pretty much shut down in, for sure, the last half of December. So I'm hoping that will break things enough to where I can at least get another 3 months. I have somebody joining me here. We're going to do a bunch of projects here on the property, make a bunch of videos, do a bunch of yoga. But I'll definitely be here for at least another month or so after I get back, unless something really drastic happens. And then again, I'll do what I have to do. You have to be ready. You have to be ready for these opportunities. And since I know a move is coming up soon, even though I don't know exactly when, I'm downsizing and I'm getting ready for it. And the less stuff you have, the more ready you are for opportunities. Now, I know that's not even going to apply to most people because you got so much stuff, if you've got that house and whatever. But see, I like to be free. I like to be loose. I like to be in a position to where I can bounce if an opportunity comes up. I don't like to be restricted, or I don't like to be like locked into things, or I don't like to have too much stuff. So this last few days, I'm going through very much evaluating. And as far as the decluttering thing, like I say, I cheat a little bit because I have a place to take stuff to that I do want to keep permanently. Like some of my books, I don't hold on to a lot of material possessions the few things that I do tend to hold on to are books that are special for me, or just little things like that. So yeah, I'm going to get my load down a little bit more. I've already got it arranged that if I have to, go search for another place, I've got a couple of people that can hang on to my kitchen stuff and whatever. But pretty much I'm open and I'm ready to go. It's like, I didn't really surf. I surfed a good while ago when I first came to Costa Rica. I hadn't surfed in recent years, but I'll use an analogy like a wave. You surf the wave that comes, and you surf, you just ride that wave until it's done. You don't think too much about it, and you can't change the wave you're on. You just ride the wave that you're riding. But I'm excited for 2017. Like I say, I'm pretty stoked to see what's going to come. I mean, there's a lot of things happening, and even though this has been a beautiful property, I'm going to miss being here, and I probably will never have an opportunity with just such a big open space, with such a lovely view, great place to do videos. It's just been a real blessing, and I've enjoyed it. But I'm excited. I'm kind of ready for the next adventure. When I first moved in here, everybody was like, and I was talking about it being sold, they were like all nervous for me, like, oh my God, I hope not. But I'm just like, I like to be like energy. You just flow. You go wherever you go, and I will be looking forward to the next adventure. One thing I've learned too is not to look. Tick tock. Those years keep going by. I'll be 53 in March. Not to keep looking for this perfect time in the future, or for the perfect time for something to happen, and just like working towards making that happen. Like I say, moving to exactly where I want to in Costa Rica, I figured out I got to get there. I may not be going, I probably am not going to be going there directly on this next move, but I'm on a course to get to where I want to go and not procrastinate and not lollygag along the way. I want to, go ahead and put in a plan of action and work on a plan to getting to where I want to get to. And I have a lot of things in the works, and I have a lot of exciting things for down here in Costa Rica, and just life in general, because who knows? I'm not locked into Costa Rica. I could pick up tomorrow. So the right opportunity comes up, I'll pack my bags and be on a plane and be gone. Be gone. I'd like to get back to Europe. That's not possible right now, but I'm open to everything. I'm open to everything, and I just think that's the way to live life. You know what? I don't ever want to sound like I'm perfect or I've got it all figured out or whatever, but I will tell you, after almost 53 years on this planet, the last 5, I've come pretty dang close to figuring it out, because figuring it out is I'm happy and content and peaceful. And what else really is there? Used to I chased that material stuff. Luckily, I never caught it, because I was telling a good friend not too long ago, I think if I'd had, the way I do live and this freedom that I do have back in the bad days when I was drinking, if I'd have had the money that some of these gringos have down here, just almost indisposable, like as much income as they want to play with, I'd have probably killed myself, because I'd have been down in the bars downtown, and I'd have just, there were a lot of times I stopped doing what I was doing because of money. I didn't have any more money. If I'd have had plenty of money, I'd have probably drank myself to death back then. But I tell you what, the last almost 5 years, I've just found a new reality, and I've found that people can change. There's you're not set in your ways. There's a lot of excuses out there. People talk about being, old dog you can't teach an old dog new tricks. People are set in their ways, whatever euphemisms you want to put on it. I don't want to live like the average person. Don't aspire to live the average life. Average will always be average. Average equals lukewarm. Average equals boring. Average equals unfulfilled. An unfulfilled life. Go for it. What's the worst that's going to happen? Really basically all we need in life is air, water, food, a roof over our head, some clothes on our back. Don't let it get too complicated. Society has kind of like thrust these things on us that we're supposed to have, these competitions. Well, they've got a second car in the garage. Oh, now they have a third, the third SUV. Or, oh, Charlie's got a boat for the lake for the summer. Everybody's competing and just accumulating a bunch of garbage. And this garbage enslaves you. I'm a free man. I don't have a lot. You know, like it's funny. I can get around adults, especially adults my age, but even adults that are 20 years younger that are functioning people of society. You know, they kind of pity me a little bit, like I'm missing out on something, but I'm free. I'm free. I'm not a slave to those things. No matter what people think and no matter how proud they are of this nice new house. You ever gone to somebody's house and everybody's complimenting about how nice it is? They ain't there most of the time. They're downtown working to pay that mortgage. The cars. You know, how many cars can you drive? I had a philosophy professor go back to the house. He said, no matter how big your house is, you can only be in one room at a time. So all these material things are prisons to a large extent. Now, I'm not going to get into a whole money hating thing. There's a lot of cool rich people out there that have more money than God, that live a cool life, that live a conscious life. So I'm not a money hater anyway, but they know that it's not the material things that are going to bring them happiness. And quite the conversely, I see so many people that, and they can even get snarky because I live in the tropics or something sometime, and they're like, well, you can do this or you can do that, or well, you don't have this responsibility. No, I don't have all that material stuff that I have to sell my soul to pay for. So bottom line is it just the last lesson that just keeps getting reinforced year after year as I've gotten all the garbage out of my body and out of my head is this life is simple. It's about enjoying. It's about you know, connecting with people on a real level. It's about enjoying the simple things. And I'm looking for 2017 to be every bit as awesome as 2016. And if it's not, if any difficulties come up, if any bad shit happens, you deal with it and you make the best out of it. That's all you can really do. So anyhow, I'll finish up my rambling on the mountain, and I will be back in the. I don't even know when I'm going to publish this one because, like I say, I'm trying to keep. While I don't have internet, I'm trying to publish just the short little videos that I can do from my phone with my data. But anyhow, hope you guys like this one. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. Hope you'll hit that subscribe button, maybe give it a share, and I hope you have a great holiday season, and I hope 2016 finishes good for you. And I hope 2017 you'll make the decision to make it awesome for yourself. Love you guys. Peace.